Markets are reacting less to numbers and more to nerves today. Political moves, trade threats, and fresh economic forecasts are all pointing in the same direction: uncertainty. From Washington's tariffs to Lesotho's debt troubles, the signs are global and so is the fallout. Here's today's Zoom out for July 7, 2025, where I help you see the bigger picture. US President Trump has unveiled a sweeping new trade offensive. 25% tariffs on goods from Japan and South Korea will go into effect August 1. But that's just the start. A dozen more countries face new import taxes, and Trump is threatening an extra 10% levy on nations he claims are aligning with anti American policies of BRICS. And that includes major players like Brazil, India, Russia, and China. This could seriously rewire global trade flows, especially in electronics, automaking, and semiconductors. Japan and South Korea are critical tech exporters, and retaliatory moves could shake Asian supply chains and push up US import costs. So, what's your Zoom out takeaway? This isn't just trade policy, it's geopolitics disguised as tariffs, and it's turning commerce into a litmus test for loyalty in a very polarized world. And it will be interesting to see how nations react to to this latest US action. Markets responded fast to the news. The Dow Jones dropped more than 400 points today, reflecting investor anxiety over Trump's escalating tariff war, and the Nasdaq and S&P 500 also closed lower as economists flagged growing risks to global growth. So, what's your Zoom out takeaway? Investor sentiment is turning cautious with the uncertainty surrounding the trade outlook. Multinational firms with significant exposure to regions affected by the tariffs, such as Asia, are likely to face increased vulnerability. And while bond markets saw yields deep on safe haven demand earlier in the day, the 10-year Treasury yield rose to 4.387% by market close. Elon Musk has sparked fresh controversy, this time in Washington. He's launching a new political movement, the America Party, aimed at challenging the two party status quo, but Wall Street isn't cheering. Tesla's stock dropped sharply today as analysts warned that Musk's political ambitions would erode consumer trust and distract from the company's core operations. Tesla's brand relies heavily on global sentiment. A politically active CEO risks polarizing consumers, especially in overseas markets, where the CEO's views may clash with cultural or regulatory norms. So, what's your Zoom out takeaway? When a CEO becomes the story, the company can lose the plot. In today's market, political capital can subtract from shareholder value. The IMF has just wrapped its 2025 Article 4 mission to Lesotho, and the results are sobering. While the country has reduced its public debt over the past year, the risk of debt distress remains moderate. Lesotho has limited room to absorb future economic shocks, especially with debt levels still high following the pandemic. The country is now working on a stabilization fund to help manage its finances more sustainably. The IMF urged the country to cut back on new borrowing, retire high cost debt, and clear all domestic arrears. So, what's your Zoom out takeaway? Lesotho may not make global headlines, but its debt story reflects a broader challenge. Smaller nations are facing rising financial stress just as the global economy slows. Without fiscal buffers, one shock could seriously derail progress. So the bottom line is this. Today's headlines show how politics, not just profits, are shaping markets. Tariffs, party lunches, and global slowdowns are no longer separate stories. They're chapters in the same book. And when the world zooms in on the noise, I zoom out so you can see the bigger picture. Which of these stories caught your attention the most? And drop your takes in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. My name remains Eniola Lunge, and I'll see you tomorrow.